Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we're going to look at the second-year man, Sam Darnold, and the New York Jets as they match up with the second-year man, Lamar Jackson, and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the New York Jets. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets work their way onto the field, led by the number 3 overall pick in 2018, Sam Darnold. And during the offseason, Darnold was asked where he was looking to improve. He told everybody being more comfortable in the pocket. He looked back to the numbers from his rookie campaign, 17 touchdowns and 13 starts. So just imagine what a relaxed and more experienced Darnold might be able to accomplish with a stronger set of receivers now here in 2019. On 1st and 10, Darnold. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Darnold from the gun, and he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Demaryius Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And now look at him go. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. So that one goes down as a 99-yard kick return for 6 from the 1-yard line all the way to the house on the other end. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Football going back to the Jets. Charles, this is a New York Jets team that, gosh, just last week they were saying, oh, maybe we'll make a playoff push. They had won 3 straight. Sam Darnold was back, but now the 22-6 loss to the previously winless Cincinnati Bengals, that puts them at 4-8, and the playoff hopes are over.
Yeah, they certainly are, and I know that they were talking about making that playoff push. I'm not sure how many of us in the outside world thought it could happen, but that win a week ago over Oakland, 34-3 at home, made us think possibly, maybe, and then they came back to earth. Andy Dalton reinstalled as the starting quarterback at Cincinnati, and the Bengals jumped them. Next week, the Jets are home against Miami.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded just inside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Lamar Jackson bringing out the Baltimore Ravens off of a big win last weekend against San Francisco. You think back to when Jackson took over the starting spot towards the end of last year, Charles. He's 16-3 as Baltimore's starter. Not a great day throwing the football last weekend against San Fran because of the weather, but he was really good running it.
He certainly was. 101 yards and a touchdown, and really had all eyes on him the entire game. And despite that, still ran for over 100 yards. He is absolutely incredible. He's up to 977 yards rushing for the year. So that moved him past Bobby Douglas for 2nd most in a season by a quarterback. And he's closing in on the record holder, Michael Vick, 1,039 yards. I think by projections, he's supposed to get over 1,200 yards before the year is out. What a season for Lamar Jackson. And they're headed towards another divisional crown, one that they won last year.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead, and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. Now Jackson on first down. Got a man, it's Brown. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. This is Bell. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Thomas.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's
Through
go.
one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Ingram again, a first down carry. And running with power here. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. He covered a lot of ground, great blocking, and now they can sniff that end zone.
They certainly can, and because of that run, maybe you come back and fake it to him on this play and throw a little play action. Someone should break wide open.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Right there. Blue down.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Check right.
From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5, pickup of 3. So let's take a look here at the key inactives. And, Charles, I guess you get this late in the year, you expect to see some guys populating on this list.
You're exactly right. No one's happy about it, but it really shouldn't be a surprise. So the guys who are playing in their spots, in their stead, they have to step up now and make big plays for their team.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up. Tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And Darnold, he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Tucker now to add the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense trots back onto the field, and we shine our Madden spotlight on Sam Darnold. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
And he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The first down run with Bell is he'll get about 6 there. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Bell. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A screen to Bell. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Now it's Darnold. This is Bell on the dump-off. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. You'd figure that those numbers for Anderson might be trending further north. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Darnold. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To the air again, Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Again, Darnold. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. On fourth down, Sam Darnold trots off, and on comes another Sam. Jets kicker Sam Ficken. This from 42 yards out. Ficken's kick is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So how about the turn of events there at the end of the half?
This is one where you go charging into your locker room having collected 3 points you didn't expect to get, and you look across the field and you see guys kind of pointing fingers at each other like, dude, how'd you turn it over and make us give up 3 right there?
Following the field goal on his Locke Edwards to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5.
That's it, baby.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Man, where has the season gone? We're into week 15 now. So let's give everybody a look at what's coming up here on what should be a very interesting weekend of football. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals, as they'll have to contend with the New England Patriots. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the Cleveland Browns. And finally, the next to last Monday night game of the year, Colts-Saints from the Superdome. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. They go play action here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. CD with that incompletion. Let's look at some of the big games week 13. So these are ones that our crew probably think are the biggest four. Let's rank them 1 to 4 as far as how big they are and what they mean. Baltimore at Buffalo, San Fran at New Orleans, KC at New England, Seattle at the Rams. How would you rank those? What do you think?
Well, this is going to sound self-serving since I'm working San Francisco and New Orleans, but to me that's the number one game because the number one seed in the NFC will be determined that week for that moment, okay? The winner of that becomes the number one seed. I think the number 2 game, Seattle at the Rams, because Seattle's trying to maintain pace with San Francisco or become the number 1 team in the NFC West, and the Rams have to have it if they have any designs on making the playoffs. The number 3 game, Baltimore at Buffalo. Buffalo's announced its presence, that big win on Thanksgiving Day over Dallas, but Baltimore's the hottest team, the best team in the league over the last 8 weeks. And then you finish up Kansas City, New England. How is that the number 4 game?
I know.
Hard to believe, but it is in this instance.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for, and it'll bring up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Darnold, and he finds his man Griffin. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
I suspect this is one of those calls the defensive coordinator would love to have back.
Absolutely.
Feels like he took a bit of a gamble here. And I remember when I was playing, when we had a team really backed up, there was a talk about, let's go ahead and get upfield and get a safety. And sometimes that works against you because they really hit them big, didn't they?
They did. They were hoping for a couple yards of breathing room, but they got a lot more than that.
Kill, kill, kill. 81.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up. Well, partner, Thanksgiving in the rearview mirror, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all gone. And now if you look at the top 4 seeds right now as we hit, is it the quarter pole or the 3/4 pole?
It is the quarter pole, and we get to thank our NFL reporter, Randy Moss, who also has a great background in the sport of kings, for letting us know that's one of the most misused terms in that sport. It is the quarter pole. Right, where they headed for the home stretch is what he also said about it. I can't wait to see how this thing ends.
Well, we got New England and Baltimore, the top 2 seeds in the AFC, Seattle and New Orleans in the NFC. You think it stays that way at the end?
I think it's going to be a heck of a battle. I think Baltimore, yes. New England's going to get a battle from Buffalo, but I think they're going to stay in the spot. Seattle, they're going to battle San Francisco. They're just going to trade it back and forth, and it's going to come down to Week 17, I believe, to decide that one. And New Orleans, yes, they will retain a top 2 spot.
This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Darnold now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just 1 big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're 1 big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. From the 38, Darnold, and Anderson's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Darnold now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Looking long for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. Caught here by Griffin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Darnold to throw again. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Bell, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Gotta get the point. Get on the point right here.
To throw is Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Darnold from the gun, and he'll complete this one to Berrios. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a Jet touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts. And
keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On first down, it's Ingram. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Quick throw taken in by Snead. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Now Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to the running game. It's Ingram, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, You think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Ravens, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.